Today, we're reviewing the Smatree Small Case GA700, a waterproof rugged case for your GoPro cameras, up to 3 of them, which is laid out a little bit differently than many other waterproof cases that we've looked at. This case has some really ingenious thought put into its layout, and well, let's just go ahead and take a tour of it. So on the front here, there's these 2 latches, and they're 2-stage latches. So you'll notice here when I pull the bottom out, it actually has kind of a tension arm levery thing. So there's actually more pressure being applied on the latch than I have to push down to lock it in place. So just to open it, you just snap these 2 things open like that, and then just pop the latches off the top, and then you can open up the case. So inside on the top here, there's this really nice soft, well, kind of soft foam that's perforated, and that's to keep all of your camera accessories pushed into the case itself. And then the first level, and this case is broken up to levels, and that's what makes it so cool. But on this first level, we have a very well organized containment of our GoPro cameras, backpacks, remotes, batteries. So we'll just take a little tour here. We can fit up to 3 cameras in this. In this case, this is the GA700-3. So it has cutouts for up to 3 GoPro cameras. There's also a GA-2. That one has cutouts for 2 cameras. And what you can see here is there's the 3 camera cutouts. One thing that's kind of weird with this case is that the cutouts for the bolts are actually on the wrong side. You'll notice this camera here has to have the buckle mount put on backwards in order for the bolt to be on the right side to fit in the case. So just kind of a little odd oversight there. I don't know what happened there, but that was kind of funny. You can see also the Wi-Fi buttons on the wrong side. Maybe they're supposed to go in upside down, but yeah, that was a little bit odd. But apart from that, everything else is pretty cool. There's 3 cutouts for backpacks. This one here, I actually just using to hold a micro SD card adapter, so it also fits in there just fine. And these 2 are holding battery backpacks. This one here is made for a GoPro remote, and then there's 5 cutouts for batteries. Now these are really cool because they fit either the new Hero 4 batteries, like these ones here, in that big longer cutout, or they fit Hero 3 and Hero 3 Plus batteries in the fatter section. So you can see I've got Hero 3 batteries and Hero 4 batteries, and they fit perfectly. So that's kind of a traditional kind of foam cutout we've seen for lots of waterproof cases, but this case, you may have noticed, is quite deep. So to take advantage of all that depth, they've actually built it into layers. So you grab this little tab here on the front, and you can lift this shelf out. Doing that brings us down to the second layer, or the bottom layer of the case. Now, in here, they've got a larger pocket, and on top of it, there's stacking holes, and those actually stack into the little bumps that are on the bottom of the top shelf, and that keeps everything in place and everything from moving. But down here, there's this little bungee thing that's designed to hold all of the accessories down on the bottom, so we can unclip that, and then we can pull out the accessories we've got down here. So down here, I've got a head strap mount, I've got a chest mount, I've got a suction cup mount, I've got a very beat up floating backpack, or floating back door. I've got a little DIY hand grip for my GoPro, and I've got a handlebar mount. Also down here, you can see now, you get a very good idea of that big cutout. One thing that's really cool with this case is that they have left this massive cutout for your stuff, which is kind of better for storing odd-shaped things like the chest mount and head strap mount, where you can kind of just jam it in and it'll fit. And really, you don't need a custom cutout for a chest mount because, let's be honest, you're not really going to ever damage a chest mount. You just need some way to keep it organized in the bottom of a case and not have it bang around into your camera stuff. But also down here, to keep you even more organized, there's these 2 mesh pockets on the side of the case. These have a little bungee on the top edge of them, and you can use these for all kinds of things. So this top one here, we're using for some GoPro bolts, and then this other one, on this side, we've got some charging cables in. So nice little pockets down there for the stuff that you need access to, but it's small. You don't need it that often, and it just kind of keeps it organized and out of the way, and it doesn't have it on the top layer where you don't need it that often. Like when you open up most of the time you open up the top layer to get your GoPro, it's already mounted on a buckle mount. You can just slap it onto a helmet, and then when you need these kind of accessories, it's normally when you're getting out a chest mount or you're getting out a suction cup mount or something like that, where it takes a little bit more setup time, and that's when you need your spare bolt. So it's a really kind of great setup where they've got the camera accessories that you need a lot, and your camera's on the top, and then things that take longer and you need less often, but when you need them, you need a lot more little bits and parts on the bottom, where all of that kind of setup for kind of more complicated mount setup is held. So in conclusion, I was really impressed with how they went to a lot of trouble to make this top part what most people love about waterproof cases, and they're well organized and well laid out. And then the bottom, what a lot of people like about just kind of big empty cases where they can just keep all their stuff and they don't have to like worry about organizing it, but it's all there and it kind of fits a lot of stuff. And I think this case is a really great combination between those two kinds of storage concepts. One's got this really well organized, laid out section, and then there's this big bin where you can just dump everything else that you need to take with you. Guys, this was the Smatree Case GA700. It's a really kind of different way of doing a waterproof case, and it has me quite impressed. In terms of the case itself, it's just kind of like a normal waterproof case. There's nothing that special about it. It's a nice size. It is a bit on the big side. You can see it's definitely got some size to it, but it does hold a lot of gear, and I was overall really impressed. You can check it out down in the video description. It's cheaper than lots of other brand name waterproof cases. So yeah, guys, that was my review of the Smatree Case GA700-3. Like I said before, there's two versions available. There's the one like this with 3 camera cutouts, and there's also one with just 2 camera cutouts with more cutouts for other things on this top layer. So depending on your camera kit, you get the case that suits your needs. Guys, this was another GoPro tips and tricks video. If you've enjoyed it, please make sure you subscribe, check out my channel for lots more videos, and like the video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I read all of those comments, and I do respond to as many of them as I can. Sadly, it's not that many. Until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching.